Hi guys, can you see and hear us? All right, there's a small time shift of some seconds. All right, my name is Arthur Steffen, and this is Martin Huber.
Hi, I'm Martin.
So we're gonna go through your questions. We're gonna present you the iFactory 1 in a deep dive session today. You can ask us any question. We have planned approximately an hour. And so let's give the word to Martin, who is the inventor of the printer. Maybe tell a little bit about the background. Why have you developed that? What was the journey in between? And what is there here today?
You sent a link to LinkedIn for the people on LinkedIn, but they are not live. So, but I explained. Du hast sie doch gerade weggemacht. Das hat nicht geklappt. Und? Ich kann nicht dazu holen. Why? Okay. So, it all started in 2017, actually. When I started to work as a freelancer because I quit my PhD. Before that, I did a PhD in laser spectroscopy, very crazy stuff. And but I wanted to quit, and then I started to work as freelancer. And the first thing I did was giving 3D printing courses for children, actually. So I gave courses in 3D printing. Also for teachers, and I did in the local makerspace every week. I did a 3D printer meetup, so where we built crazy printers. So for example, we built a filler extruder with an automatic filament system, and made our own filament. We built the hang printer version 1 and version 2, and we also did something with belt printers. But the first of this kind of belt printers I built in the media harbor here in Düsseldorf, where I had my first office, and I needed a lot of 3D printed parts, and because of that, I really urgently needed a belt printer. So I built one for myself because I was very experienced in building 3D printers. And that's how it all started. And I met Arthur in the media harbor. He was in a startup accelerator there that is just some meters away from the office I was in. And I was in the same accelerator. And at one magic evening, we met because there was a startup event where they had free food, very good food. So we were eating and talking, and that's how it started.
Yeah, basically Martin is for me, this crazy developer, from movies. Normally these guys look a bit different. They look more crazy with this gray hair like that and in all directions, as you know from Back to the Future. But actually he's a pretty stereotyped German engineer, but in his mind he's a true creator. So he has worked in the belt printer before we met each other in terms of planning, etc., etc. And then we started to work on a energy company together, and we needed a lot of parts. And this is where it all started, where we needed lots of parts to be printed, and this way we actually have saved quite a lot of money because we didn't have enough 3D printers to produce these kind of parts. And we started on very humble 3D printers. I mean, you have seen on our Kickstarter how the belt looked like before. We actually have done assembly videos of the very first prototype. It's several gigabytes of data. We have taken pictures, assembly videos, etc., etc. 2.5 years ago. And since then, we have improved it. So first of all, great that various backers are here. Zachary, Rickard, Bart, or Mr. D3D Printman from Netherlands. I've actually dropped a printer about 48 hours ago in Netherlands at Mr. 3D Printman. And glad to have you all here, and of course, nice to meet new supporters of us. So this was a little bit about our backstory. Now we explain you what has happened in the 2.5 years period. Maybe explain a bit what happened on the technical side in the meantime, and I will go a bit on the future side, and then we can have a deep dive and go into the technology what we have today. We can look at the prints as well.
So first, we developed another type of belt printer. So not this type. We had a very robust printer that was completely made out of metal, CNC metal, with only the best parts. And the idea of this printer was that we leave everything out except the belt. So the printer is the best parts you can buy, and as rigid as possible. And so we used this to develop the belt, and we tried many different materials, over 20, maybe 50, everything we could get in our hands. We made a belt of, and we tried it out. At this time, we also had this professional calendar machine for calendaring. This helped a lot to produce them ourselves. But at the moment, we are working with a very, very big belt company together, and they helped us a lot to try out different materials.
What materials did you try out?
Yeah, everything. So from silicon to Kapton to PET to nylon. We had nylon belts last year. They are good, but we were not pleased with the results. And the belt we have now has a much better texture. It's much more stable. It doesn't flex that much, so you don't have so much warping. And the adhesion is just right. So it sticks well, but it also gets off at the end. And the belt is really the key to build a great belt printer.
And actually, did we have a similar belt 1.5 years ago that is now there with a different company, the different belt company? The green belt?
Yeah.
Can you maybe comment that?
Yeah, so there's this other belt printer. They use a nylon belt print that is green from one side and painted black from the other side. And it looks like it loses its color with every print. And it is the nylon surface. And we once tried, for example, to print nylon on these belts. A very, very bad idea because it's like fused together. So nylon is no option on these belts. And the belt is it gets loose while printing, so we didn't have a good experience on these belts. I think Arthur is getting our belt, our nylon belt, and
yes, this. So these are all about some of our previous trials. Maybe Martin, go one by one.
This is the nylon belt that we had. So after some time, these don't look good. They get damaged. They are well to lose. So this is not a great material.
What is this?
This is PET. It's a PET belt with aluminium foil. Works somehow. It's not bad, but also not the perfect solution.
Where we have more interesting things. What is that?
This is a very very smooth belt where we put Kapton tape on. So that is always an alternative to make a belt that you put tape on it. But yeah, the tape has a lot of bubbles, and it's very hard to do this perfect, especially after some time you will have these bubbles.
So Peter is asking, so will nylon still be a target? Are going to do something to nylon?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, because it's not that great. So it does work somehow. You can use it. But what we have now, the material that is a secret, it's a very special polymer that is better. So we tested it the last half year intensively, and it is the better material.
So, but what if you stick some aerospace material on the belt, on the nylon? Will it work, or?
No, it does not stick to the nylon belt.
What's that?
And putting the tape on the belt, this would be against the whole idea that this is an automatic machine. If you have all the time, you have to put the tape on it, or you have to put glue on it. This does not make sense.
So Andrew is asking, can you print ABS on the machines or on the belts?
Yes, ABS is totally possible, but keep in mind this printer is not enclosed as we ship it, so you can only print small parts. If you want to print big parts, you need to enclose it. And for example, this printer fits perfectly if you have two IKEA Kallax
shelves.
Shelves, yeah. Behind each other, then it fits perfectly, and then you can perfectly enclose it.
So let me show you a bit more what have we done. So according to the timeline, which one which one came one after the other?
Yeah, the aluminum one was first.
Then
we had this. This is more like a textile, but it's also not good enough. This is not hard enough, so you have too much wobble on the belt.
What else? Because
this one we have later. This is colored PET, so to have a better look. This is not a bad belt, but again with the tape, it's not that great.
Right. Then what did we have afterwards?
This is also a very special belt. This is another type of tape that we tried out. That was not that bad.
Shaker World is asking, did we try steel belts?
Of course, we tried to test these steel belts. We asked for them, but one of these belts in steel is €300, and so for us it was out of the game from the beginning. So it was just too expensive, and even buying a large amount did not make them much cheaper.
So we think we found the supplier of that black belt, and the price-wise it was quite expensive. I mean, even for prototyping, we had an offer for a steel belt, just one timepiece. It was €800.
I don't remember. Maybe it was like 500, and when you order like
three,
10,
three, and then it went down, and
then.
So, but because in the end it was still quite expensive, and that's it. I mean, because you guys, we talk here about the maker machine, and if it costs like over 2,000, 3,000, and there's no point. Right? There's not. Jan is okay. By the way, Jan Lucas is a very famous guy in Germany. He was on a German TV printing lots of things, helping people in Corona. He's like this thingy that you open things, or you can have on your trolleys, etc. He's printing 20,000 pieces, and his question is.
And we also printed mask clips in the middle of the year.
Yeah, will it hold? Or maybe a bit more insights about further testing, because here we are already.
So this is one of the new types of belt. So they will have a much smaller finger joint, and they will have the same surface as the rest of the belt. So you have no interference because of the joint, and this makes these belts much better. Because the joint is smaller, it's also better for these small rollers that these belt printers have. So that should make them even more durable.
So you see, we have tested different connections. So maybe explain what is this kind of a connection?
this is just a line connection, but this won't hold. This is too stiff, and it does not look that great.
Tell me about the others. What is this?
Yeah, this is another type to join the fingers. Yeah. So with another adhesive surface. Yeah.
Is that the new belt that's going to come in next week?
No, we don't have it here. It's
we gave it away.
Engineers.
All right, so
basically manufacturer.
So you see already that the connection got smaller, because at the moment our connection we are using, it's roundish like that.
Yeah.
So like that, and it's still not perfect. And we are basically giving our supplier constant feedback based on our prints about continuous improvement, and the company is improving it after our feedback.
With the new belt, you won't have this zigzag pattern on the prints. Yeah. We did the surface in that way that it has the same properties as the rest of the belt. So what questions do we have? We don't miss questions.
Yeah, we don't miss questions. I'm sorry if I was maybe overexcited. Right. R&D, the video to share the love. So guys, please drop us some questions, maybe on the belt, to talk about the belt topic, that we finished that. By the way, there was in one of the review videos of this other company, that thingy, you remember?
Yes.
So
yeah.
how are we going to solve that? So you remember, you know this?
Yeah. So the sides of the belt, ours, these are actually the bad ones. So this is bad. So
I know,
because these are samples. Yeah.
Sample, I know.
Yeah. And at the finished belts, these are going to get flamed, and then you have a very smooth side, no fuzzy stuff, no stuff that's coming off. So this is really a very high quality belt that is actually made in Germany. So it's a high quality belt.
2 questions. Why is it not orange? And is it stitched side?
Yeah, the color. So we don't have so much choice for the color. So because this belt and this material is made in this color, it's not like we can ask so much for a custom color for us. That would make it much more expensive. You can have a very similar belt in black, but it is also a bit more expensive and needs bigger rollers. And this material we will use on future printers that are much more advanced.
So let's go one by one. I'll translate the question by Ben. If you get the hot end on the belt, the nozzle on the belt, what can happen if it's like,
so when the nozzle is really hot, like 240, 260 degrees, and you then let it stay on the belt, of course it will leave a mark. So the belt, because it's made of polymers, it cannot withstand that high temperatures. Then you have a small mark on this side of the belt. But if you do everything right with the calibration, and if you do it right, then this cannot happen.
Jeff has a very interesting question. It's about, can you break down why we should back your campaign, not Creality ones or the other company ones? To that we can come once we go on a deep dive about the machine, and Martin will break it down one by one why we are different. It's not about them. It's just about what makes us special, or why is this printer a reliable printer for you guys. So we will come to that in a moment. And Rashmi is asking, how long do you think the belt can last before needing to be changed?
So today we have ordered the large amounts of belts. So for the backers, they will arrive next week probably, and this is the final belt. And now the manufacturer is actually doing the calculations to give us a number. They have already told us some numbers, they are very high. So these belts should last. They are very big. They won't get ripped apart. So you can't rip them, no way. and they are very durable. These are actually made for the industry, so and they need very reliable belts. And the thing with the company that we buy from, so they have higher prices than the competitors, but their belts they last very, very long, and that's why everybody buys their belts. So that is what they do.
If you have eaten a Snickers, Mars, or Bounty, the company that is doing the assembly line, the belts on that for that sweet food, that's our supplier. So another question is, have we done a stress test? How long can iFactory print non-stop? Since we're getting the new belts, which is the same surface, but it's the new connection next week, we haven't done a stress test on them yet, on the new ones.
What was the longest print we did? Like 20 hours or so?
No,
24 hours?
We printed, you see, go behind it. That, I think, was one of the longest.
Yeah.
3 days.
3 days? Okay, so we continuously printed 3 days, yeah, without a fail.
Yes. Because I've seen a comment by the other company that they have done, I think, 45 hours, 48 hours, something like that. In our case, it was more, we needed that for a video, for a Kickstarter. I mean, we didn't have too much time, so we then, it took us 3 days. Okay, spray paint loyal, yeah, for orange, would a spray paint work if you spray it orange, or that's gonna peel off?
No, that's gonna come off, yeah, it's not a good idea.
All right, Richard has a question, one question about the belts. On the creative belt, they get miscoloring on the prints for the belt. Is that an issue on your belt, for your belts?
No, it does not lose its color, so.
Except that there are some marks. I mean, the color, the silver color stays. What we noticed, it depends on your filament. So it's not about cheap or expensive. It's more about good or bad ones, because we experience with the good ones, it peels off like perfectly. You know, like a baby popo, you say it in German. It peels off perfectly, no marks behind. But when we use cheaper filament, we had issues, we had troubles with that, and then small pieces were left on the belt.
But you can easily remove them. It's no problem to get the belt clean again.
Yeah, Jan, thank you very much. It's German engineering rules. All right. How difficult is it to attach the roller to the machine?
I have never done this, but yeah, it is very easy. So there are 2 screws that come in from the side. It is attached to the metal bars that also hold the belt. So it's like one unit, and then we have some smooth rods that the piece can go over. They don't even have bearings because it's not necessary. There just needs to be some support for the part and to print it very long.
So, Jan, how complex will it be to replace the belt? I mean,
so how long did Ben take, our engineer?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So on average, I mean, okay, this guy has a bit more experience. He is assembling printers all day long. Yeah, but 20 minutes.
Yeah, maybe half an hour. Yeah. But you really don't have to change that often. So
yeah. So is it a 32-bit board?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Great question, Jeff. Pros and cons. We will come back to that. It's again to Peter. How around? Very nice, very nice. Thank you. Is it possible to show the stuff closer? What do you mean by stuff, DJ?
The prints. Yeah, yeah. We have some sample prints.
You mean the sample prints, or what do you mean? Or you want to see our colleagues and ladies? We have ladies in the team, by the way. Half of our team is ladies. So if you want, if you favor ladies to be vegan, like some other companies do, we can show you off ladies. It's not a problem for us. No, yeah, no problem. If I like to print 1,000 parts non-stop, is that possible by Fridolin? 1,000 parts non-stop.
Yes. Yeah. So
if you make sure that you have enough filament, or that you have a machine that is how to say, like changes the filament that it can continue.
So we have holders that can hold up to 8 kilogram rolls. We will also sell these in the future.
Is the belt, James, is the belt hand washable? Removable dust, dirt, such?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, okay, we have never tried it. We have never tried the hand wash, to be honest.
Yeah, not in the washing machine, but hand wash. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Mad Monkey, maybe linear rails. Maybe Martin, can you comment that? Why are we using linear rails?
Yeah, so these are not like these heathen linear rails that everybody has in their head, because these are very expensive and they are too good for 3D printers, not necessarily to have such a high precision. But also these plastic V rollers in the V slots, they are also not that great. So we have a own solution. We have also something that's also Igos. Igos is using that company very close here in Groningen. So we have these metal bars, and they have like half pipes on the side, and on these pipes metal rollers run. So everything is made out of metal. Everything is very precise. You can fine tune all of them to have it even more precise. And this is a cheap system that is very good for a 3D printer. And
sorry. Yeah, so rollers.
Rollers, yeah. So we have these metal rails. They are much better than the plastic V-slot rollers, and they are not too expensive. So this makes this printer super precise. So in this Kickstarter test that we did, where we got 30 of 30 points, we had an accuracy of so an average deviation of 0.02 millimeter. And for the highest points, you need to be below, I think, 0.1 millimeters. So,
okay. Hope Martin could add something to your remark. Jan-Henrik Susek. Langen Drucken, Auslauf vom Belt. Ich weiß auch nicht, wie man das übersetzt. Erstmal vielleicht auf Englisch übersetzen und dann nochmal auf.
Sorry, Jan-Henrik, we don't understand what you mean.
Auslauf vom Belt.
Auslauf vom Belt.
Maybe give us a hint what exactly you mean.
Yeah, you can write in German, no problem, but we don't know what you mean by Auslauf.
Rickard is asking, would peel off hurt the bat?
You can peel it off by hand. It's no problem. When you print just one piece, of course you can do this, and sometimes we also peel it off by hand. So that is totally possible.
It's better if you move the belt and then it falls apart down itself. Because if you don't peel it off carefully, then you might hurt it. Okay, I'm a more sensitive guy with the belts. Boom, boom, boom. Which can you tell us more? All right, this Optimize is asking, can you tell us more about the plastic parts, for example, the frame stiffness and the display holder?
Yes. This printer is not made from acrylic laser cutted parts. We use a much more durable material that is specially made for us. So this is also a secret what material we use for this, because if this would be made out of acrylic, it would be way too brittle. So the parts would break. They can also break during shipping. And we found a very good polymer that we also laser cut ourselves here, but we also have a big supplier for this close to here to cut us these parts. And they have a bit of flex, so they don't break. So they are a much better material that you can really use laser parts in this kind of printer without breaking.
All right. If it has not been answered already. Is the vision system automatically, I think you're referring to the printer guard, stopping a subscription service? Stopping? Is it stopping, starting? I don't get it.
I also don't understand. So
maybe rephrase that. Do you have experience with nylon carbon fiber blend filament?
yes, I have. I have printed this, but not on these printers. They don't come with a hardened nozzle. You can buy some hard nozzles. We have some here, but they just arrived last Friday, so we did not try them out. We have this in mind, and with a hardened nozzle, this should be no problem. But you should also enclose the printer when you want to print big parts. And because this belt is not made out of nylon, it should work very well.
All right, then Ben just justified the question of another member before. Ausleiern, does it lose its I don't know, is there some play the belt?
Oh, no. So when you tighten it, and we also have a belt tightener under the belt, then it does not lose its tightness over time. Maybe like over a year or so, you have to retighten something. This can become an issue, but you have enough space, you can retighten it, to have it always tight. We actually have an experimental printer that has an automatic tightening function, so you'll never have to do this on your own. And but with these printers, so we are using them in our print farm on a daily basis, and I think they have never retightened them. So that is not an issue. And also because our printer has two motors that runs the belt always synchronous, so there cannot be any slack or any movement in the belt. And also because we tighten the belt with a pipe and not with two screws in the front, because when you tighten with two screws, it's never in parallel. You never really know which one is tighter and which one you screwed in more. And with our system, you just put in a bar, and then it's in parallel by design, because the printer is made in such a way that you have something that you lock against, and then it's all aligned.
So you started already to talk about the differences to the other company, am I right?
Yeah.
You already gave a pre-taste of what's going to come. All right. I have a question. No problem for belt with big and high prints. Wait for push piece. I think this was kind of a question. Or basically, is there a problem if it's getting too big, too heavy, because you have to push that forward? And about the engines.
We have two engines, and they also have a gear ratio, because they also run on belts, on GT2 belts, and so far we have no problems.
Of course, if you print 10 meters, 15 meters, 20 meters.
Yes, at some point the piece can become very heavy, and there should be a limit.
Yeah. And of course, you guys can upgrade that. I mean, that's a machine to upgrade, to improve, to do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can put in a geared stepper, no problem.
There was a question, what about printer guard? Okay, this is actually a topic for me to be very excited about. When we started to work on that 2.5 years ago, I noticed that Martin was always sitting next to his printers and waiting for taking it off, or even with that printers, he was monitoring if there's a mistake or not. I'm a person, I come from an entrepreneurial background in software, and for me, this seemed too much of being too geeky, and I didn't understand why there's not a system that is, I don't know, doing something that he doesn't have to sit next to the printer all the time. And I got a guy from Romania, his name is Tudor. He's a specialist in deep learning and computer vision. and he was doing an internship with us for half a year, and then suddenly he came up with an idea in order to use computer vision with the printers. And a year ago we started to do that, and then we understood that actually it's a very big problem, that you have to be physically there next to the printer, monitor it, and it takes quite a lot of live time from you. So PrinterGuard is a deep learning computer vision software that is monitoring the print. It's a self-learning algorithm, and that is basically built inside. Here's the camera. Over here, there's a triangle, and we can bring the camera closer. And there's a camera which is 1080p HD camera.
It's a 720p camera.
This is for some.
HD. Yeah.
It's an HD camera, but okay. If you want to upgrade, we have another. We're using as well. What's called this expensive camera?
This high-quality Raspberry Pi camera.
Yes.
But it's really expensive. It's €100 just for the camera.
Yeah. I mean, for the ones.
If you want it, you can put this in. Yeah.
Yeah, for the really. Yeah. And basically, PrinterGuard comes. This camera system comes by default with the printer. Depending how far we go on Kickstarter, you can unlock half a year of PrinterGuard for free, or even a year, because we have to pay servers. We have costs. We can't offer that for free because it's the entire architecture. Before, there was a question in the Facebook or Kickstarter if somebody can have it on his own server. Do you know how it would work?
Because I don't know if we make everything so open source. So we have not decided yet. So we need to get it running on our own servers, and we don't know. So maybe that will be an option, maybe not. I don't know who wants to do this.
Yeah. So, and actually, we're working on at the moment 5 problems, not just on spaghetti, and that's gonna be a big help to you guys.
Let's give some quick
Yes.
answers to some questions.
I have wait. Yes, more.
A lot of questions.
Yeah, do you need additional rail structure? They didn't get really your question asked. Display your question and give us. Do you mean the additional rail structure? They didn't really get your question asked. But maybe this was from the person before. Can you guys tell us a little bit more about the software? Yeah, sure. By Rickard.
So software. So we have Cura, and our Cura is based on the black belt Cura. So it has the same features, and it's very, very good for belt printers. And because it's open source, we took this software, we changed the design, we changed the settings, and we have everything set up for the iFactory one, and that is how it's now. So the slicer is good. It has all the functions that you need and more. And we want to add more features to this. So to have more functions, to get this maybe to a higher Cura version, that would be nice, because now I think it's 3.6, and I think Cura is now at 4.8 or so. So it's a bit old, but it does get the job done. It works good.
There was a question on Facebook where somebody on Kickstarter asks, what are the plans? What are our plans on the software part? Maybe you can comment that as well.
The plans. So yeah, Cura, we want to make it better. Octoprint, we want to optimize it more for belt printers. The belt printer special features in Octoprint, and of course PrinterGuard. There's a lot of work on PrinterGuard. This is completely developed on our own, and that's so.
Well, basically, we had some talks to all the future work on our own slicing software, but it's quite expensive. So it's between 500 to 1 million, 500,000 euro to 1 million euro. How much it would actually start costing us to have something on our own, the beta version.
And I saw auto crop in the stream as a viewer, and we talked with them, and they want to do a cloud slicer for belt printers, and that is very interesting for us. So we will definitely support this, and you have sent out the printer to them.
I've sent out yesterday a printer.
Yeah. So Autodrop is going to get a printer, so they finally have a bed printer on hand from us, and that they can really start developing this and speed this up, so that that you can do the cloud slicing, and they also have cloud cuts, and they have everything in the cloud. It's a really interesting system.
Stay tuned, and on that topic. So Mad Monkey makes a question: is this a custom-made mainboard or a commercially available product?
The mainboard is not specially made for the belt printer. It is a normal 3D printer mainboard, because there's no need to customize it. And I think you can buy it somewhere in China, but it's quite hard to get. It's not some recognizable brand. It's a generic board, but it works very well on this printer.
Maybe to give you a comment as well. Of course, we work with Chinese suppliers. I mean, this is not all of the parts don't come from Germany. We add the specific belt printing parts to that here in Germany, and we assemble that in Germany. And we can only make it so affordable because we work with another Chinese 3D manufacturer. Therefore, we can actually ship in December 100 printers, no problem. We already have the parts here in Germany.
Yeah.
That's the difference to other Kickstarter campaigns where they have to, they thought to develop everything from scratch, which is a nightmare. In our case, that's not the problem. Right, Midlands 3D for 1,000 parts. Do I have to slice one and set quantity of 1,000 in the printer, or slice one print job of 1,000 models?
In the slicer, you set the number of copies that you want, and then you have one G-code file. You load this on the printer, you hit print, and then you get 1,000 copies of it.
So Neoprot is asking quite interesting questions about 500 times 500. He likes to print big, and only what I can say, stay tuned for the next year. There will be good surprises coming.
There is something coming. We have already ordered the parts, so there will be a big belt printer, and probably the biggest commercially available belt printer.
Boom! It's out. It's out. Okay.
Yeah, but it will be very expensive. So
I mean, yeah, but it's twice the price of that.
More. It will be more.
We will talk about that. Right. Oh my God. Jan, you're saying if you have lots of ideas for the slicer, I have your number. Let's talk. Right. Barry King, does your parts fan shroud?
No, the fan shroud does not hit the parts, so it's designed that this does not happen.
Yeah, about Kuma, all I think is a huge wargaming terrain. Yes, it's definitely, and we work now as well with some guys on beta testing so that we can improve these printers. The printers are still not on its perfect, like the highest potential. They still haven't reached it. For example, in the chat, there's the 3D print man, and he has lots of characters and figures that he created with, I think Cruiser was the most of them. So if you have created a model that was a character for the normal Cartesian printer, it takes some time to redesign it, the way how to position that for the belt printer. So some models you have to really think how to change their position to the belt printer.
You need to rethink the model orientation. This puts a knot in your head at the beginning. So
yes, while functional parts, easy peasy, super easy to do functional parts with that printer with no hassle. Right. Don't give too much information, others might run with it. Yeah, well, Zachary, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see who's going to deliver the printers on time.
We will make everything open source at the end.
And we do everything open source, and you don't have to pay for that on top. All right. Right. Привет. Да, тоже привет. Guys, okay, drop me your questions. Greetings from Chile, greetings from Germany back. Мы разговариваем о бельт-принтерах. Да? Конвейерный принтер. Right, and then stay with English. Drop me your questions, guys. Otherwise, yeah, okay, maybe we have promised you some comparison, right? Now it's time.
Yeah.
Should we make a deep dive? Okay, you want it? Let's go.
So
should we bring you a bit closer?
Yeah.
We have you on some rollers. Okay, I just take the camera. So, are we back? Can you hear us? Guys, can you hear us? Yes or no? Yay! All right. So, Martin.
Okay, so things that are different on this printer, for example, is the extruder. We use a Titan style extruder, and this has a gear. So with a gear ratio, so you have much more torque in this extruder to drive the filament. So you can print really fast on this printer. With the gear ratio, you also can print more precise. So this gives better print results. So this is a very good extruder for this. We have the two motors I've already explained. We have the Raspberry Pi with a capacitive touchscreen. This is running in an alpha version at the moment, and so you get this as a free add-on. So you have the Raspberry Pi, you have Octoprint, you have the Cloud Access, you have Printer Guard, and you can modify this as you like.
So Printer Guard, maybe show where is Printer Guard located?
Here, the camera connected to the Raspberry Pi, and over that connected to the network.
Let me take some lighting. Here it should be a bit lighter now. So, what about the scraper?
The scraper?
Yeah.
So we use this scraper. It's also made from a very durable laser cut material, and because of this scraper, the parts are automatically removed.
Спирал от 699 евро plus transportation plus customs in Russia. Таможня.
Okay. Yeah, so as I already told, we have two motors to run the belt synchronous. This is the best way to do this. You can also do it from the front, but two motors is really good.
Can you show the rollers as well? Then we need to move kind of the printer.
Yeah, so the rolls we have, these are just 20 millimeter metal rods. These are
Show them.
full metal rods, and made from hardened steel. So to have it really durable and very stiff, so there's no bending in the rolls.
What's the longest part we have printed so far with the printer?
Over 2 meters.
Yeah. Over 2 meters. Yeah, by the way, it's somewhere here in the room. It's over 2 meters. Yeah, you can see how thick the steel is. Right. About this pool holder, how big can it? I mean, what's the size we can hold with that?
So this is made for 1 kilogram rolls, but we tried 2.5. It works somehow. So it is possible if you need it, but we sell much nicer holders that can hold up to 8 kilogram spools.
Right. Printer guard. Maybe here. This is what you get included into the package. Here's the camera. It's like a red dot. You can see if it's recording. Here's the capacitive interface. Yeah, you can see me. That's the case. We are 3D printing the case. We are 3D printing the how to say it? Yeah, the feet. And you know, this is pretty cool. We do the laser cutting ourselves now with the prototypes, and of course, once we go for the shipping, it's going to be another company that's going to do professional laser cutting, etc., etc. Right, then more questions. More questions. Если тут такие комплектующие. Если, to respond in Russian, I don't know where you mean тут. Тут это в России или тут это где? Right, then no need. Can you clear moment of screen? Can you clear moment? Comment? I don't know. Maybe you can comment the screen. Can you explain a little bit on the screen why we have shown? Why have we chosen this screen? What was the journey for that screen?
Yeah. So first we also had a resistive touch screen. You had to press very hard on this, and we didn't like this. And also the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi are then used by the screen. And this screen, you connect this with the DSI cable. So all the GPIOs of the Raspberry Pi are free, so you can use them in your printer for filament sensors, buttons, whatever you like. So that is great. That it is capacitive is also way better experience. And it just works out of the box. So there is no configuration, no drivers. It makes the whole thing much easier, and it's actually even cheaper than the other screen we had.
Right, Patrick, 2 meter, yes, 2 meter 10, it was something like that. All right, question about printer guard. So this goes for me. So at the moment, there are several things how printer guard can work, at least how we think of. One, it goes by default with the printer, and for several months you get it for free with the printer. Then you need to have internet access to be able to contact your server. Yes, it's most likely going to be like that. We think, and then there's a subscription. Yes, but it's the market price. It's nothing more expensive. Something like it's a standard market price as you would have.
And the subscription is only to get the video stream on the go. So there will be a basic version just to control the printer, to maybe get a screenshot of it, so it will stay usable. But we will have like different plans, like a basic, like a more advanced plan, and then a premium plan, because having the entire video stream, it costs money. There's a lot of bandwidth needed. And so we can't do it for free.
Yeah, the thought was basically, Spaghetti Detective. So to have like a basic free, which is like 10 hours a month or something like that. And then once you go deep and you do a lot, then to have like €4 or €5 a month. I mean, we don't talk about really huge costs on that side. There's another thought. This is just still a thought of mine. If the printer guard can actually learn continuously on the parts you print, and the ones who are willing to, like, let's say, allow printer guard to analyze the parts that you guys are printing, but only if you allow, because it's on data privacy, etc., then these people get it for free in order to train the model that we get better and better with the software. So in the end, we would, for example, to monetize the software with the B2B customers, and and train it with the makers and users or normal users. Right, can you guys, because right, so I ordered a pre-Christmas delivery. Can I add extenders to that order also be received before Christmas? Casey, no, unfortunately not, because we get various components from other countries, and they will not be here by Christmas. We might. I mean, we have actually components for.
It depends on the number.
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna have the demand of, I don't know, 10, 15, or 20 by Christmas,
No problem. I think we can do it.
I think we can do 5 before Christmas, because we actually planned them for March. So Casey, you can drop me a message on Facebook, and then we keep you on our list. Basically, technically we have parts for that, but for 5, maybe 10. I need to check. Right. Right. Ludmila's, are the Chinese details there? Ludmila's faster. Yes, I mean, yeah, we used parts, components that come from China. Otherwise, it's not possible to have a product made in Germany or made in Europe with European components. You will end up with several thousands of euros.
Yeah. At this price point, we need to go with Chinese parts, but we put a lot of thought in it to use them the right way, to do the design the right way. So our engineers did all of the designing. So the parts are cheap, but they perform well in this printer.
Regarding to Peter's comment about to Rickard, it's actually not that we don't want to say it. It's more about, should we keep it a freemium model and actually train the model, and this way, you guys, if you print, we can train the model. And basically, it's similar to Facebook, that Facebook business model is you pay with your data, but in our case, that would be, for example, you just allow us to train the model, and then print like that would be for free for you. Or is it something that our server costs will go too high, and then actually we have to charge something? That's more a business model and cost. So far, we have identified the cost for the servers, where there is cost to that, but we need to just find out. Otherwise, either we're gonna have it covered by investors or by ourselves. All right, smash the like button. Is it possible to make the future IDEX extruder?
You can convert this into an IDEX if you want. But so far we don't have plans on an IDEX printer.
Right. Are you from Germany? Right.
Yeah, we are from Germany. Guten Tag.
Right. Do you know when we will see the first reviews of a Kickstarter model? Well, we have sent, actually 3 weeks ago, 4 printers to the world. Joel received one. So the 3D printing nerd received one, and we actually paid €400 for the UPS just to be there within 48 hours. And then he let us know, guys, he's so full, we have to wait for several weeks, maybe to 3 months. And what then happened, Martin reached out to William Steele, the Titan, the creator of belt printers, and Martin found out that William Steele already talked to Joel, as William Steele was very interested to have a hand on that and to assemble the printer. And then Joel has sent the kit that we sent to him to William Steele. William Steele is going to assemble that, send it back to Joel, and Joel is going to make a review. Then we have 2 packages or 3 packages on the way to Dubai, on the way to Canada, on the way to US, another one, and unfortunately it takes quite a while. It takes us over 2 weeks and that's why we are sending tomorrow another kit to an American YouTuber, and yes, Joel Telling, yes, to another YouTuber, and he's going to make a review in 2 weeks.
But there are also articles in German now. So we had some journalists here. There are already some articles, I think, from so not like a video review on YouTube, but like something written.
Yes,
it's true.
I mean, we had yesterday a journalist. No, two days ago, a journalist. He has checked everything. He has the release will be out tomorrow with lots of detailed pictures, and especially if you have questions, we have sent printers to It's Optimized 3D. We have sent to a German. It's a small influencer here in Germany. And we have physically I've given a printer to Dit 3D Printman in Netherlands, and he's doing a very in-depth review on the printer. So you can check out both of their channels, especially It's Optimized has done a very in-depth review of the printer about several months ago. That was our pre-version of what you see now, or pre-version of what you see now. Right. Jonas is asking, do you already produce the printers? Like, do you have laser cutters? How big is the team? Maybe you respond to that. I'm talking too much.
So we have a laser cutter, but only for prototyping. So for the review units, we made all the parts ourselves. So but we actually have a supplier for the laser parts. So we have just one laser, and we cannot do this here. And the team's now 16 people.
Yeah.
16 people working on this, and we are growing. So we actually rented another office just around the street. That's 27 square meters. It's a storage room, and it's a production facility and some office rooms. And there the production will happen from the 1st of 2021.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention William Donald. We have sent a printer to Scotland, and William has been very keen to assemble the printer from start. And if you have any questions, he has a great channel, especially about this figures, characters, angels, devils. I don't know how it's called. William, you're more expert in that. But it's super cool where they used to print these kind of models. And feel free to reach out to William Donald. Right. Was that for a printer that was not assembled at all or partly assembled? I mean, we have sent out fully assembled printers to media, because these guys they don't have time to assemble a printer. We have sent out partly assembled printer. This went to William Donald, and we have sent kits to America. It went to Joel. We sent a kit to Joel. Now we sent another kit to America, and to Germany. We sent today another kit to 3D-Freunde.de. 3D-Freunde.de. That's as well. Sorry, man. 3D fans. Sorry, Ben. It's oops. Right. Mad Monkey makes full kits are my favorite because then you learn it better. Correct. In order to that you guys can easily assemble them, we do several testing rounds. And actually we do it with ladies, because if a lady who never assembled the printer can assemble the printer based on our manual, then it's a good sign that as well non-techies or even beginners can actually assemble that. And we do several rounds of iterations of that.
Yeah, kits are more fun. I also like them more. It's part of the experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. How much time does it take to assemble the unassembled kit versus semi-assembled kit? Question by Casey. So I think
so the kit is like 4 hours. If you really go for it and stay on building it, you can do it in 4 hours. When you have some experience, you can do it in under 3 hours. So our engineer, if he needs to build up one printer, he can do it in 2 hours very easily. And the semi-assembled takes under 1 hour.
yeah, yeah. It, of course, depends on your level of experience
and how much you rush. So if you take your time, then of course it takes longer.
Yes. Right. And kits ship better? Yes. Less likely to damage? Yes, yes, yes. We have already experienced that. We already have sent a fully assembled printer to a partner of us into Netherlands, and
1 hour away. So
1 hour away, and we still didn't have the perfect packaging for that, and it didn't arrive the way we wanted it to be. A little bit on the packaging. So for the backers for December, it's going to be like a humble packaging, but because you're paying the normal price, we will give you lots of goodies, especially that what you see behind us, this poster, the company of iFactory, with all of the Printuminati. So it's the collection is called Printuminati, elements, T-shirts, stickers, etc. You're going to have it there. For the backers, we're going to receive the printers in March. It's going to be a box in box, because a lot of printers boxes get damaged. That's why, in order to assure you a great experience of unboxing, you have the normal brownish box, and you take it off, and then you have a white box with a label and so on, and then you pull it off like an iPhone box, take it off. So it's my desire to work on this experience that 3D printing is cool. It needs to be fun. It needs to be like awesome experience even to unbox that. Sorry to beat this there, but wasn't the main selling features. Sorry to beat this to death, but it was a main selling feature for this printer. Yeah, Peter. So let's give it a very quick dive into the future. The future of let me give you a bit more on my role, because Martin did the cool stuff on the hardware, and I'm responsible. I was the one pushing the Raspberry Pi, pushing for the touch interface, etc. Why? The future is not about hardware printing. The future is about software combined with hardware. Therefore, the Raspberry Pi is already the first tool how to interact with the printer while you're somewhere else. You're at home, the printer is at your work, you can remotely work with your printer. The printer guard software is a tool to monitor that, but I'll come to that in a second. With the Raspberry Pi, what we want to do in healthcare, because I come from healthcare, I was working for 10 years in the field of healthcare. You can check the questions already. The field of healthcare, my vision is to send this printers to countries like that cannot afford proper healthcare medicine. I don't know, send it to Ethiopia, and children need prostheses there. A German doctor or a European doctor, doesn't matter, from distant place can measure the size of the prosthesis is measured on spot locally. The data is sent to the German doctor. The German doctors are adapting the prosthesis, and the printer is printing the prosthesis in Ethiopia, where the child will receive it. If it doesn't fit, the printer will create another one. So it's heavy customizable for this kind of charity things. And then the future is all around, or all about the files. It's all about the CID files, about the quality of that. It's about the availability of that. That's why Printer Guard, from my side, it's actually, I would even make it for free, because we are interested in training the model to build a super cool model, especially for starting with belt printers. and then moving to other printers, even Cartesian printers, because we position PrinterGuard as a very open approach, not only to iFactory 3D, but as well to other companies. But somehow we have to pay for the servers. That's the only thing, and either it's going to be covered by investment, by investors supporting us, or some little fee on that.
There was a question about the Raspberry Pi. So it's a Raspberry Pi 3 Model A Plus.
How does already print is calibrated? How does it already print, and how is it calibrated?
I think that was a question to the...
So it does. I thought it was a question. Right. Okay, Mr. 3D Printman will start tonight, and he's gonna. Do you have logistics in place to give backers a smooth shipping experience? Well, logistics. we pay for DHL, we pay for the UPS, because we're still having like small numbers. We're not selling thousands of printers. It doesn't make sense to ship containers all over the world. We go more for professional companies like UPS and DHL, and to have this box-in-box experience, especially to save the quality of the actual box of the printer. And the packaging itself within the printer, it's very professional. I mean, you have I don't know, it's material.
Cut out foam. So what you normally get with a kit that is proven, and every part is secured, and everything stays where it belongs. So this is a good solution.
It's a bit more technical question from James. I know it's running off a Raspberry Pi, but is there an accessible Ethernet port on the machine? Pi seems fully enclosed.
No, there is no Ethernet port. We have the Model A Plus that does not have an Ethernet port, but you can exchange it for any Pi. So you can exchange it with a full Raspberry Pi 3 or 4, and then have an Ethernet port.
Right. So it's already something after 7 o'clock. Is there any more question?
One last question.
Well, in Russian, у вас сильно шумно в офисе? Is it very loud in your office? I mean, what do you mean by? Are you talking about a printer farm? Do you mean about talking about one printer? So the sound levels between 65 can go up to 70 decibel, but that was the highest that we ever experienced so far. And actually, we are working on to make them less noisy. Let's call it like this. Right. Right. From what kind of materials is the printer designed for at the moment, aka printhead?
So what materials you can print with it? You can print PLA?
No. What materials is it designed? From what is it made, printed, etc.? If I understood it correctly. From what kind of materials is the printer designed for at the moment? So what material? Is it metal? Is it what special types of? Is it aluminium, etc., etc.?
The nozzle is made out of brass.
Yeah, it's if it's so obvious, then it's easy. Yeah. Right, you can contact us at build@iFactory3d.com. Sorry. So that email is checked by 3 people, including me, and drop your questions there. You can as well drop your questions on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Kickstarter. The most questions on Facebook, you actually talk. If you talk on Facebook, you talk to me the most of the time. Instagram,
I answer the question.
Is Instagram as well, and Kickstarter is mostly done by Martin and some other guys. Cool.
So thank you all a lot for joining.
It's optimized. Maybe the last question: how is it with shipping for Kickstarter? I mean, I mean, what? In our case, we care that you get the promised printer on time, especially for the backest of Christmas, because we offered you 50% cash back. If you don't get it on time, you get the money back. That's why, as Christmas time is very, very, for example, busy, we might even go for UPS to pay $200 for a 72-hour delivery, but you get it. I mean, in our case, it's not so much about €1 more. We're not making hundreds of thousands of printers where we need to optimize every penny. It's more about to give you guys a great experience with the printers and that you enjoy it, and yeah, everybody has fun. And lastly, we're working on our own filament as we were talking, that it's important to have a good filament so that you have as well access to affordable, good filament with the printer. Of course, it's going to be cheaper in terms of transportation for European customers, but we will step by step, of course, help our American fellas as well. About the T-shirt, yes. Hopefully, I can buy soon. Can you buy the T-shirt? Yes, Stefan.
You can back it on Kickstarter.
Yeah, you can back it. For €25, you can have a T-shirt, and I mean, we will ship already the first T-shirts in December, and it really depends how many we're gonna. We will basically. I'm a big fan of making 3D printing cool, so we have lots of different styles. Actually, here it says, "In makers we trust." Right?
In makers we trust.
Makers we trust. So we have different designs. We have about 4 or 5 designs of T-shirts only of Printuminati. We have already some new collection as well that is going to come. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this kind of stuff. Right. Could you collaborate? Could you do a collaboration with Das Filament? You know Das Filament?
Yeah, I know them.
Okay. This kind of questions, please drop it via build. Cool, guys. Hope we could give you a deep dive on us, on the printer. And by the way, we forgot actually to show you. Maybe lastly, sorry if you go too much. Maybe Martin, you explain a bit.
So we also wanted to show off some test prints that we did. This is the Kickstarter test we did. This is made to make printers more comparable, and as you can see, the details are there. No stringing, no bridging, super overhang, super accurate printing. All the knobs come out. So this is the type of accuracy and print quality you can achieve with this printer.
Okay, that's a baking mold. Called like mold or something?
Yeah, to make cookies.
Cookies. So this has been sent to us by a guy from Facebook. Yeah, so we have printed that. Yeah, right, by Ercole, a friend joined, or colleague joined the chat. Right, here's maybe explain.
So we also printed a Benchy. So this is like the standard test, but actually this is not a great test for belt printers. This was designed to test Cartesian printers that print bottom up, and you can print them on a belt printer, of course, also with no support. They look fine, but yeah, so this is not a great benchmark for belt printers. Other print models are better.
You were referring to that? Sorry, because of the camera. Okay, maybe give you this one.
This was a test from yesterday. So this cube was printed at 300 millimeters per second, so very fast. So we are testing out at the moment how fast can you print with this printer. And I think we printed this. I think this has 5 outer layers or so, and this took like 40-50 minutes or so. And so you can print very fast with this printer. And we also tested how low of a layer height you can go. And we had one test print that printed very fine at 0.025, so 25 microns, a print, and we are working to get it working on 10 microns.
Ercole, because there was one question about taking the STL file. It was actually designed by Martin, because we were looking for what's stuff? What's the other name? Das business. Warrant. Yeah, we were looking for one, and we couldn't find one. So Martin actually designed it for us for the video. Yeah. So Ercole, can you, if you have the access to that, please, I don't know, publish it somewhere on Facebook or something like that. Here's another one.
Yeah, so this is more like a decorative printing. So you can see what you can also do with these kinds of printers.
Yes, I mean, wait. And we have our colleague, his name is Ercole, he's now in the call. And this was actually one of his first prints. And he has never done 3D printing himself. The camera. Nah. Yeah, it's an autofocus camera. Yeah. At the moment, I'm talking to some guys on Facebook in order to release several videos about. We have tried 001 millimeter. We have tried 002, 005, and we will release several videos tomorrow. Because our problem is we have several printers working and different videos on different Raspberry Pis, so we have to find out from what printer we have the video, etc., etc. So tomorrow we will make a list, and I'm probably going to do that as an update for Kickstarter. That's one of the best things. That's to give people, and plus, of course, that we are testing. Yeah, we write down numbers, how good we printed, etc., etc. Yeah, regarding 001, it worked. We're not saying that it's gonna that we are, let's say we are owning it. We have tested it successfully, and I mean, I'm talking 0.01.
10 microns.
Yes.
So, even a very small piece takes 16 hours with this, so it's ridiculous. But you can do it.
And if you want to print that in detail, actually a belt printer is not the right machine. I mean, with a belt printer, you do masses, you do fast, you do something like that, which is, I don't know what print is with 02. I don't know. So you do stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. I mean, this is just our opinion. It just takes too long. That's kind of the thing. Cool. All right. So in the next days, we're gonna release more videos. This kind of format we're gonna do every week, once a week. The next time we're gonna do it Friday in the week. And in the meantime, we collect information, we collect questions, and we will release more information based. We will collect all of your questions, and we will kind of release them in this kind of live session. We hope that you liked that. It was a very spontaneous. It's the first time that we have ever done this. And let's stay in touch on Kickstarter, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right? All the best.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.